Alcohol, crack, and heroin are known to be highly addictive. But can something as innocuous as shopping be addictive? Dr. Drew Pinsky is an addiction specialist. You may know him as just Dr. Drew. I've worked with him on a lot of TV shows. Here's what I said about shopping addictions on the Ricky Lake Show with Dr. Drew. But first, it's important to understand what doesn't work. A shopping addiction is not a disease of intellect. It's a disease of emotion. Unfortunately, most family members, along with mental health and financial experts, make things worse by focusing on the two areas that usually lead to even more shopping. So let's do this pop quiz. Which of the two common responses to a shopping addiction will actually make it worse? Is it shame and logic? Is it logic and then shame? Some shame and then a little bit of logic? Or a little bit of shame and a dash of logic? So here's what shame usually sounds like. What's wrong with you? Don't you know better? How can you be so self-centered and selfish? Now, trying to use logic, here's what that sounds like. If you spend too much, you won't have money to make the car payment. Now, this just tends to be highly ineffective, both using shame and using logic. These cures, they don't work. Shopaholics already feel badly about themselves, and they already know they can't afford it. Criticism often leads to people feeling even more socially isolated, which they then treat by shopping. So if you find that you're spending more than you can afford and you can't seem to stop, well, these might help. Here's what I talked about with Dr. Drew. The first thing, identify the shopping trigger. What activates a person's urge to shop? Boredom, guilt, shame, anger? Keep a written journal or some sort of an electronic record and document what leads to the shopping. The second thing you can do, discover the need shopping fills. Excessive shopping doesn't serve a functional purpose. You probably don't need 15 purses. It serves a psychological purpose. For the non-shopaholic, it may all seem and look crazy or irrational, but it's not. The shopaholic is often entirely rational. They shop for a reason. It fulfills a need, so they keep doing it. So the first step in halting compulsive shopping is to identify the psychological need driving it. Does the shopping provide pleasure, or does it help you avoid pain? In other words, do you shop to feel something you don't feel anywhere else throughout the day? Sort of like a rush of excitement, variety, stimulation, being in control, feeling naughty? Or do you shop to avoid feeling something negative, such as anxiety, loneliness, or maybe fear? Determine what part of the shopping provides that reward. Is it going with friends, maybe the social aspect? Is it being around others, have the community aspect to it? The third thing, replace shopping with something healthier. So the shopaholic needs to find a healthier alternative to filling the need. Brainstorm how you could fill this need in other ways. Often you'll find that someone with one addiction will trade it for another addiction. This is not a positive long-term solution, though. The goal is to trade in a negative and destructive addiction for one that is positive and healthy, or at least neutral. So the fourth thing, change your environment. Our environment plays a huge role in our behavior. If you keep a bowl of jelly beans on your desk, it's clear what you'll snack on throughout the day. Use the environment to your advantage. It makes no sense for the alcoholic to test their willpower by having a snack at their local bar. And it makes no sense for the shopaholic to be in shopping malls. Create what I call no-fly zones. These are places you can't go, such as malls, stores, or other shopping areas. You want to remove any ambiguity in your rules. If you don't, then in the heat of the moment, the shopaholic will rationalize a way to shop. Now make a list of the places you can and cannot go. Eliminate any TV watching, well, at least in the beginning, and stay away from magazines and newspapers. You basically want to remove any cues from the environment to shop. 5. Get support. Kicking an addiction is hard to do alone. Get some help from friends, family, or maybe even a therapist. Debtors Anonymous It's a great resource, and they have groups in cities across the country. So I hope this lesson was a complete waste of time for you. But if it wasn't, just know that there is hope. No matter what you've done in the past, today is a new day. You can find strength and you can change.